Welcome to Cord Cutting Today for March 20th, 2019. This is where I give you a quick look at some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting from the past 24 hours. If you want to learn more about these stories, in the show notes down below, I'll put a link to each story so you can read about them for yourself. Come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear what you think of the stories, what you think about cord cutting in general. So leave me a comment, let me know. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us. Hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you want. All right, let's dive into the stories for today. Right off the bat, the TCL 75-inch Roku TVs are now for sale on Amazon. The size of the Roku TVs used to be one of the biggest complaints I heard about them. They maxed out 65 inches. You could get everything from a 20-some inch all the way up to a 65. Well, at CES, TCL, which many regard as the flagship Roku TV brand, announced that they're bringing 75-inch Roku TVs to the United States. It was available for pre-order, but only from Best Buy. Slowly been coming out. They're available at places like Costco now and some of the lower-end models. But now their high-end 6 series, which is the highest end they make with the best image and the best picture and the best TV quality, is now for sale in the 75-inch on Amazon. The nice thing about the Amazon version is the point anywhere remote, which is a great feature versus some of the cheaper ones you find at like Costco, which need a line of sight remote for the 75 inches. So if a big TV is really what you want, I'll put a link to that down below. And hopefully for everybody who said they didn't want to get a Roku TV because it was too small, now you have an option. TCL has hinted that they are looking at building some even larger TVs. I know we saw some like 100-inch TVs from places like Sony at CES this year. Be interested to see what happens next year. Are we going to go even bigger than 75 inches in the Roku TV line? Let me know. And the 8K versions, this is the 4K, but there will be an 8K Roku TV coming out later this year also. All right, next up, one of the biggest things with cord cutting has been home internet. A lot of the complaints have come down to the fact that, hey, if you cut the cord, you're still limited to DSL and cable in most areas as your internet option. Well, 5G has been one of the biggest promises in this realm to bring an additional internet option. One of the tough parts about running new internet lines in a city is literally running the line, having to dig up the yards to each individual person's home and install a fiber or whatever line you're using to deliver internet to your customers there. With 5G, you can put one tower in an area and wire an entire neighborhood in just a couple of days versus months to dig up the streets, dig up the yards, upset people who don't want their yards damaged in order to bring them a new internet service. So there's a new service that launched a few years ago called Starry, S-T-A-R-R-Y. I'll put a link to it down in the show notes. They've been live in several markets, what they call a 5G service. It's not technically 5G, they're using a slightly different standard, but the idea here is it offers similar performance. It's a $50 a month service that offers about 250 down, 250 up internet speed with no data cap. And they've been available in places like Washington, D.C. and Boston. But now they've announced they're coming to Denver and 16 other markets currently in the works. Had an interview with them this week. They said they are looking at coming into more markets once these additional 16 markets are live. But right now they're trying to do this in steps as they roll it out. So if you are interested in finding out which markets they're coming to, maybe learn if they're already in your area because they're already in a handful of markets. I think this additional 16 will bring them up to about 22 markets across the United States. There's other companies that are doing this right now across the United States, so do your research. Verizon is one of them. They're live in Houston and a variety of markets, and they're coming to even more this year. But there are 5G home internet as an option, and as we go, T-Mobile, Dish, AT&T, and more are all working on launching their 5G home internet. So hopefully soon you'll have DSL, cable internet, and maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 or more 5G home internet services to pick from. Because as always, competition breeds better customer service, brings better products, hopefully better pricing also. And at $50 for 250 down, in many areas where that's a very competitive price right there. Maybe not for everybody, and I fully understand that. All right, let's keep on going. Disney now owns most of Fox. So it's been talked about for a while. Disney was buying most of 21st Century Fox, including things like The Simpsons, X-Files, Bob's Burgers, and more. The movie studios are now all officially, as of this morning, owned by Disney. Now, some of the assets are staying with the original Fox company. It's now called Fox Corp, which includes like some Fox, your local Fox stations in some markets, the Fox brand and broadcast TV, Fox News, Fox Sports, Fox Business, that kind of stuff is staying with the Murdoch family in the Fox Corp. Disney now, though, owns the television production in the television or the movie studios, as well as the Fox regional sports networks, which they have promised to sell off. If you want to read a full breakdown of what the Disney now owns and what Fox kept, link in the show notes down below. Let me know, are you concerned about Disney owning Fox? Can we all talk about the fact that Lisa is now a Disney princess? So is Meg. Meg is now a Disney princess, I guess, technically. Is that a little weird? I think that's just a little weird, but okay. But leave me a comment. How would you like to see a Simpsons land or maybe a Family Guy land at Disney World? Could happen now. So leave us a comment, let us know. I'd love to hear from you. But check out the story down below if you're interested to see everything that Fox now owns and everything that Disney now owns. All right, moving along, another rebuttal. So we said it last week, a lot of anti-cord cutting stories, I would call them. We're going to come out, and we have a new one from USA Today that covers a study that came out that basically says cord cutters are getting fatigued with all the streaming services out there. Now, my rebuttal to this is their complaints are that, hey, you're upset if a movie leaves your favorite streaming service, you're watching a TV show, it was on Netflix, it's no longer there, or there's a new service, you're getting fatigued of that kind of thing. My counter is, hey, that happens with cable TV. Who here has ever had a show they really love on a cable TV channel canceled? Who here remembers when Adult Swim dropped King of the Hill from their lineup? Anybody remember the outrage over no more King of the Hill on Adult Swim? Well, now it's over on Comedy Central. Or how many times when you were a cable TV subscriber did a channel you liked? Maybe it was like the G4 network. That was one of the big ones. You know, they put it in the base package, tried to grow it, it didn't work. They moved it back up to a premium package. If you liked it, now you had to get a premium package. So there's a lot of issues, I think, with that. And my rebuttal is these issues are not exclusive to cord cutting. The idea is that you can face these issues even if you're a cable TV subscriber. So I'll put a link to it down in the show notes if you want to learn more about that. And hey, let us know, what do you think? Do you think that is a bigger issue with cord cutting, or do you think that's a bigger issue with cable? My point of view is, hey, you know, with cable, if they change the schedule, right? If you like watching a show at a certain time, they change it, nothing you do about it. With cord cutting, at least you have a lot more control over what you do. And with cable, with most cable plans, you have a contract. So if they cancel a show you liked, you can't just walk away from the service. If Netflix cancels Stranger Things, let's say, someday, and you're upset, you can just cancel Netflix. So let me know what you think. I'll love to hear from you. Speaking of the DirecTV Now drama, Viacom yesterday announced that they're in talks with AT&T to renew their contract to have their Viacom channels like Comedy Central, MTV, the new Paramount Network, and more on AT&T-owned networks, including DirecTV Now. Well, unfortunately, it sounds like these talks aren't going well, and Viacom has announced that starting in Friday, if they don't have a contract, their Viacom channels will be pulled from DirecTV Now. Even if you have the grandfather plan that still had the Viacom channels, because I know the newer Max and Plus do not, you will lose access to them. So let me know, is that a big concern to you? Would that make a choice? These things happen. And it will be interesting to see how long it goes. Often this comes back, but not always. You think about Dish. HBO hasn't come back. Univision hasn't come back on Dish. So let me know, how important is that to you? I would strongly encourage you to read the Viacom statement. I thought it was very interesting. They definitely went after AT&T hard, which is pretty par for the course in these kind of arguments where they're trying to drum up public support. But I'd love to know what your thoughts are on the Viacom announcement. Moving along, for the Roku right now, the Roku channel, which is Roku's free streaming service, similar to Pluto or the Zoom channel or many of the other ones out there, has added 9 new live channels to their lineup. These are a bunch of freeform, some MGM content on there, and more that will allow you to stream a bunch of stuff. And I said freeform, and I apologize, I butchered that. It's actually FilmRise channels. So my apologies on the little slip there. But you'll be able to now have 9 new live ones doing everything from horror and comedy and MGM products to a wide range of content. So check it out down below in the show notes if you're interested in learning more about it. And you can see these new channels by installing it on the Roku channel or going to therokuchannel.com. All right, last story of the day. More Americans are now streaming their content than using a cable TV or satellite service. Now, we've seen this coming for some time, but according to this report, 69% of Americans subscribe to a streaming service and 65% of Americans subscribe to a traditional pay TV service. This comes from a new survey. I'll put the link down below with all the details of it. And we've known this for a while, that most cable subscribers also had a streaming service. The argument's always been, if you're going back to cable, you're still not going to be able to watch The Handmaid's Tale, Stranger Things, House of Cards, Orange is the New Black. You need a streaming service for these award-winning hit shows in many cases. Well, it looks like, hey, most cable subscribers also have a streaming service. One more argument to the idea that, hey, cable is not cheaper because you can't get everything you want with cable anymore. So keep an eye on that. I'd love to know, did you have a streaming service back when you had cable? How many did you have? Was it Netflix, Hulu, Amazon? Leave us a comment, let me know. But check out that link down below. It's an interesting breakdown, and you can read the full breakdown that Jess did over at corecarsnews.com, link in the show notes. Well, that's it for today, for March 20th, 2019. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up. We would really appreciate it. And we got big things in the works, so hang tight. I'm hoping to really improve these. So keep working with us, and I'll see you tomorrow morning with another cord cutting breakdown of the latest news happening in the world of cord cutting.